information?
No, nothing like that, Chris.
Okay.
Everything that they share is public. It's just not easy to find unless you have connections to show you where to look. And right now, my connections are telling me about another huge opportunity for investors. I've already shown you how big energy and transportation are being transformed. We're also about to see massive changes in the $23 trillion world of big finance. In the months ahead, central banks around the world are planning to go digital. Many of the legacy banks you've heard of, where you probably even keep your money, like Bank of America, Chase, Citi, Wells Fargo, they're about to be reset, overhauled by a new type of technology called fintech, which is short for financial technology. In other words, the banking infrastructure is being rebuilt from the ground up, and very few Americans are aware this is even happening.
Very few Americans are aware this is even happening. Shoot, very few Americans even know that their Federal Reserve is a private bank created in 1903 by the Rothschilds, the J.P. Morgans, and some of the most elite families in the world. If you want to know the truth about the Federal Reserve, the private bank that they lie and say it's part of the government, it's federal. I know most of you know that, but comment below if you did not know. The Federal Reserve is not federal at all. And there's a great book, The Mystery of Jekyll Island, and it talks about the elite families. There were 5 very, very extremely wealthy families that went to this island and made the Federal Reserve Act and basically just snuck it into the government. But that's a great book if you haven't seen that. A $23 trillion opportunity, and many people don't even know this is going on. As always, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate all the support on the channel. It's been growing very well, so God bless you all for that. And it's good for the crypto markets right now. We're seeing some bullish action on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin steers all ships. Now, one thing you need to know about this pump right now is that Bitcoin is facing bearish divergence. What is that? Bearish divergence is when you have higher highs. I'll zoom in on this. Higher highs on the chart. You see higher highs. But on the relative strength index, the RSI, we have a downtrend. So these two things are diverging. Price is going up, but the relative strength index, which shows is if an asset is overbought or oversold, this is going down. So you could see some bearish action. Maybe we go back to 22K Bitcoin. Who knows? Who cares? In Saudi Arabia, maintains crude supply to Asian refiners despite the OPEC cuts. Last week, we saw all the major OPEC oil-producing nations cut their barrel production. However, the Saudis are still maintaining the full amount of supply to Asian refiners, and this is just another example of de-dollarization and more trade happening outside of the U.S. markets. A new Ripple partner. Okay, this came out April 11th. And if you guys do use Twitter, give me a follow on Twitter, DrippyXRP. It's also linked in the video description below. So Ripple Advisor teases more Oh, this isn't it. Right here, Ripple Montenegro sign a project deal. The Central Bank of Montenegro announced on April 11th that it had signed an agreement with Ripple for developing a strategy and pilot program for the digital currency in the form of a CBDC or a stablecoin. And I want to talk to you about how government-backed stablecoins could be ran on the XRP ledger from an official Ripple document. More details will be revealed later in the year. Ripple X Vice President for Central Bank Engagements, James Wallace, told Cointelegraph the project will go through several stages. And just look at this role right here, Vice President for Central Bank Engagements. We always talk about the robust team that Ripple has, and that's one of the reasons we're so bullish on it. But what other blockchain companies have a whole division developed and dedicated to central bank engagements and CBDCs? And this came out back in September, right? We've seen more CBDC announcements, but we're going to see many more of these to come. The company Ripple has been increasingly active in the development of central bank digital currencies since piloting a private version of the XRP ledger in March 2021. If you guys need a spot to get digital assets, XRP or Flare, I recommend Uphold. It's sleek, simple, and secure, and it's where I buy my XRP every day. A link to Uphold in the video description below. And if you guys do use Facebook, I made a Facebook page, so go ahead. It's in the video description below. I'm going to post different content on here, so if you do use Facebook, check that out. How is the economy doing? Look at this. This is laughable. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the U.S. economy is performing exceptionally well. And I say, haha, sure it is, Janet. The media narrative is that it is our fault. It is our fault for inflation. We caused this, guys. We are the ones that print the money, right? In 2020, after COVID-19, and I can't say COVID-19 on here because I'll get censored. Speaking of censorship, guys, if you like my channel, give me a follow over here on Rumble. It's my backup channel. You never know with YouTube. But in the year 2020, we printed more dollars in 2020 than the previous century before. Let that sink in. In 1 year, we printed more dollars than we did in 100 years. And people don't understand what inflation does to their purchasing power. They don't even understand basic economics. Yes, you might have 100K in your bank account, but when the government prints more currency than they have in a century in 1 year, because there was this crisis, right? That purchasing power of that 100K goes down, and you see that with the price of orange juice, the price of egg, the price of paper products. Everything is going through the roof. And this is historical. U.S. banks lost money for mortgages they financed last year for the first time in history. Another first for history, covered it about a month ago. The Federal Reserve had net operating expenses negative for the first time in history. The Federal Reserve makes a lot of money, literally. But we're seeing the economy produce these events that have never happened throughout history, and that should let you know that something is definitely different. Germany closing all of its nuclear power plants. It has nearly most expensive electricity in the world. Why are they closing their nuclear power plants? Nuclear is the most efficient way to produce energy at scale. And if you live in Germany, comment below. But from what I've heard, the price of your heating bills and your electricity in the US, we might think it's bad. It's like triple or quadrupled in Germany. Deutsche Bank looking to offer custody for digital assets. Deutsche Bank is looking to offer custody for digital assets by 2024. We are also exploring opportunities around tokenizing cash and security assets. We've talked a lot on this channel about how the XRP ledger is designed for tokenization of cash and security assets. I already talked about the Ripple Montenegro partnership and an update from the lawsuit. This came out today. A letter from the SEC addressing the summary judgment. And I quote one part. The SEC says that Ripple states in fair notice defense alleged that the SEC had long been aware of the defendant's practices at issue, expressed concerns and considered rulemaking relating to such practices, but never adopted such specific rules requiring the types of disclosures at issues. And I say, how can you disagree with this? It is very clear. Ripple went into the SEC. They met with these organizations years and years ago. They have been working to make their business in regulation. However, there's no rules. So how can you be regulatory compliant without rules? And it's just laughable that the SEC can push back on this. And Ripple CTO explains how XRP can reach as many people as possible. David Schwartz says, many times I get asked whether something should be made to only work with XRP. Unless it's an XRP ledger feature, I almost always say no, it should not work with anything it can be made to work with. If something only works with XRP, it's only interesting today to people who fit XRP today. That's not for everyone. I'd rather some technology that works with XRP work for as many people today as possible. Why? Because there are lots of technologies that don't work with XRP. And the people who use those technologies will have a much harder time migrating to XRP, even if it fits their needs at some time. I want to have the largest pool of possible that have no barrier to using XRP. This draws more people to the technology and causes everyone to get better experiences. If you can use it even when XRP makes sense, you can easily use it when XRP does make sense. If Google had tried to make the internet only work well for people who use Google stuff, the internet would stink for a lot of people today. And then there would even be a lot fewer internet users, internet devices, and internet connections to access Google stuff when it's fit. I was talking earlier about how Ripple has one of the most robust groups of talent and labor force. David Schwartz had a patent in the late 1980s on distributed ledger technology. This guy is built different. He's an absolute genius, and he is our chief technology officer. Government-backed stablecoins can be issued on the XRP ledger. Check this out. I guess it's bigger there. Ripple is currently engaged globally with central banks on CBDC projects. And then they give a few examples. With Ripple's CBDC, private ledger, what other company, what other blockchain tech has a private CBDC ledger? I'll wait. With Ripple's CBDC private ledger, Central banks can manage the CBDC lifecycle, offering these benefits: stability, security, and resilience, easy access and financial inclusion, interoperability with disparate payment systems and overlay services, and low energy consumption to promote sustainability. Each CBDC solution is built on a private ledger that is based upon XRP ledger technology, a proven blockchain that has transacted over 70 million times over the course of 10 years. There's no bugs, there's no exploits, it's been running flawlessly for 10 years. What a great option for central banks. As always, guys, when you watch the full video, it really supports the channel. Comment central bank in the comment section below to let me know you watched the full video, and give me a follow on Twitter. It's also in the video description below. God bless you all. And if you want $41 guaranteed for free for my USA people, just sign up with Webull, deposit 1 penny. You could get up to 3,000 in free stocks. However, you're guaranteed a minimum value of $40, and you typically will get $40 to $300 of free stocks. Sell your stocks, close your account, do whatever you want, buy some more XRP, but don't miss out on this great offer. Free $41 just for signing up and depositing a penny. That's also in the video description below. Comment central bank to all my full-time watchers. God bless you all. Until next time.